What's up guys, welcome to the Programming Zero to Hero channel. Today we're going to create our database and we will connect it to the C# in Visual Studio. Without any further talking, let's open our SQL server. Okay, here we can type local or put a dot here, no difference. I will talk about all these things in SQL Server full course. Connect. Object Explorer is the most important part we're going to work with. Here we see lots of things, server objects, replication, management, other things. But the most important part we're going to work is databases. We have other things here, such as this system databases. We're not going to touch them. I will talk about all these things in the SQL Server full course. But the thing we're going to do is right click on here, new database. We're gonna give a name to our database. Okay. As you see, our database is containing tables, views, and other things. We will work with most of them in this course, but the most important part we're going to work is these tables. To store our data, we need table. Right click on table, new table. Let's say I want to create our users table. We must define column's name first, such as username, the data type for characters going to be varchar, allow null means this can be empty or not. No, user must have a name. User family. Okay, it's a test. So here we click on save table and we're gonna give name to this, test1. As you see, our table created. To add data in our table, we right click here, edit top rows. Very simple. And we're going to add data here. Every table is created from rows and columns. We call the columns field and the rows will be record. Now we delete our test. Now we're creating our users table, new table. In the part we're going to define the column names, there is some rules. We're going to create users table, so we will start each column name with word of user. First word is going to be uppercase. In the future videos you will see why we need the user ID and what it's used for. For now, just come step by step with me. Username, in parentheses we define number of characters. This part depends on to phone number format in your country. It can be null, in this part, as I told you, we're going to use first word of the table here, and the other part is username. Here we have the name of the user, and this is the username we're going to use for login. This is the difference. Again, let it be 50, can't be null. Well guys, there is a tip I should tell you, because I told you in the introduction video we're going to use password encryption algorithms, and in that algorithm our password digits going to turn into string with 128 characters. You will see how it's going to happen, and it can't be null. User age, user gender, and user active. Well, I take them as a tiny int, means a small int, and this is from 255 to minus 255. I think this number is enough for us. I will talk about user gender and user active later. You will see how I'm going to use them. And in the user start date, we're going to save the date we created our user, and it's from date. Every table must have a primary key. Now, what is primary key? Primary key is a column which is never going to be repeated, such as our user ID here. Again, I want you to see in the action how we're using the primary keys, but this is the way we're creating a primary key. Right click here, set as primary key, come down here, is identity, yes, double click, identity increment and identity seed. Seed is the number our user ID going to start from, and increment is going to be increased one by one, such as 1, 2, 3, 4. If I make it 2, it's going to be 1, 3, 5, 7. It will go like that, but I want to go one by one. Now save. Here we're going to give a name to our table, and we're going to give a name to our table. Don't forget the uppercase, like that. Now let's check the tables. As you see, our table is created with our columns. If you remember in C#, we could create a button from design view, such as drag and drop from toolbox, or we could use the XAML codes for creating our button. Here in SQL Server, we can do the same things. As you see, I used the design view for creating our database, but we can use the other way is T-SQL language, and we're gonna use it in our software. So we should learn this too. To use T-SQL, click on New Query, don't forget to choose the right database from here. Commands for creating table is like this. Create table. Then we're gonna give it a name, such as test2. Then we enter column names like that. User ID. Let's make it int. Username varchar key. User family. Now execute. Identity. One. Execute. Refresh. Now our table is here. These columns. To make any changes in the table, we use the command alter table. Which table? Test2. Add what constraint. Then we give a name, primary key to what, such as user ID. What is this? A primary key. Add it to where? On user ID. User ID. Select it. Execute. Command completed. Refresh. User ID is a primary key. As you see, this is how it works. I know these things are a little bit looks hard for first time, but you're gonna get used to this and you learn these things just one time. Now I want to see what's inside my table. I do this, select star from where test2. It's here. Select it, you must select, then execute. User ID, username, user family, but it's empty. To add new data to table using T-SQL, we use this code, insert into where test2. Now here we enter the columns we want to put data inside. We use username. We're not going to use the user ID because it is identity. User family. Again, values. Now in the same order as above, we enter our data. Username, let's say between two quotations. Now execute. Again, execute. It's here. In the next video, I will connect our SQL server to C# in Visual Studio. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Till the next video, peace out.